Two boys, one lost on Earth, one lost in the stars, find a friendship that redefines their universe and life destiny. What is this manga we're talking about? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. I'm your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, bonjour, and what's up? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast you can find at www.spiraken.com. We're also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Music, and Apple Podcasts, and most importantly on YouTube at youtube.com/@Spiraken. And if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, share, subscribe, and as always, click on that bell for notification for when we release new episodes. And with that in mind, let's get to it, because this manga is one that is a debut manga for an author who got nominated for the Kono Manga ga Sugoi industry poll, and this manga won the 17th Manga Taisho Grand Prize. So this is a prestigious manga. And is it worth the hype? Is it as good as they're saying it is? Well, let's find out, because the manga that we're talking about is Spacewalking with You. Now, this is written by Inuhiko Doronoda, and this is the story of two boys who couldn't be at all different, who end up starting a friendship that changes both of them for the better. And this is a very different type of slice of life. This isn't a romance. This is kind of a bromance. And more importantly, this is we need to find our place in life. Because our main character is Kobayashi, and he is someone who is tall, he's goonish, and most people think he's just a big bully who's an idiot. And the truth is, he just he admits, he's like, I'm dumb. But I try my best, and it doesn't always work out because I'm kind of intimidating, but no one really pays attention, no one gives him a chance, because he's usually the tall, big, dumb guy. And he's got blonde hair, so let's ignore him. And his best friends, they like him as he is, They make fun of the fact that, yeah, he can't keep a job. He's just kind of a screw up. But we love him anyway. And that is what he does. Until one day, his all-boys school gets a new student. And who is this student we're talking about? This is Keisuke Uno. And he is a space case. When they first meet him, when he introduces himself, he pretty much screams at the class that his birthday is on the 20th of June. He likes space, and he's a very, very cool guy. He's very nice to meet you. And they're like, wait, what's wrong with this guy? And when he sits down, he immediately pulls out of his pocket a little notebook and starts writing in it, which is filled with notes and things. And he's a little odd, like he knows who everybody is. He's memorized every single spot, who's in every spot, knows them by name, even though they've never met him before. He's a little eccentric, but everyone thinks he's a bit of a weirdo. He talks out loud, he laughs to himself, and they're kind of mean. But let's be honest, Kobayashi really isn't. It's like, yeah, whatever. He sits in front of me. That's all it is. Until, well, something happens later on. But to get to that, let's get more into what's going on with Kobayashi, because, like I said, he has a job. He's working hard, but he keeps screwing up at little things. He's not good with classwork. He's not good with things that they tell him. Like they tell him, put the boxes sorting like this, and he messes it up. Or return the videos like this, messes it up. Or you need to cook the food like this, or bring the plates here. He forgets. He's forgetful. He's kind of just, his head doesn't process like this. And but he's not brave enough to say he makes mistakes. Until, like I said, one day he bumps into someone who is being bullied, and it is Uno. And Uno ends up being nice to him because he's like, wait, what's going on? Uno saves him from a situation where he's being sent to work somewhere pretty bad, and he ends up helping Uno get home. And we find out a little about Uno, that Uno is someone who he doesn't really function in reality. He understands space and memorizing facts, but the negotiations of life, he doesn't know. He doesn't remember to do things in order. So this notebook is his tether into life. It's his code book on how to do things. Like, for example, it wakes up and says, okay, when you wake up, you need to make your bed and then brush your teeth, and then you have to make toast. And if it's Tuesday, you have to make a specific type of toast. On Wednesday, it's a specific type of toast. Always remember to smile in class. You always need to greet people. And it's his way to just be tethered in life to control his space. Now, is Uno autistic or is he on the spectrum? Possibly. His sister is straight up like, "Yep, I thank you for being there for him because he's nice because he has this book and it's important." And a lot of people kind of make fun of him for it. And at one point, they steal his notebook and throw it out. And Kobayashi, like, "What are you guys doing? This is stupid. Don't throw it out. It's his." And he ends up reading it, seeing the notes, and gives it back to Uno. And Uno's shocked because, like, everyone throws it away. You're the first person ever to, in all the schools I've been to, because he's been kicked out of so many schools, that someone was nice to him. And they start this friendship, this really nice friendship, because Kobayashi sees this side. Like, one of the biggest rules he has is don't cry in public. Cry when you get home. No one should see you do that. Hold it in. And it becomes this thing of that Uno has to do this, has to hold himself together, and he's trying. And this ends up leading to Kobayashi kind of following in the footsteps, getting brave enough to take notes, to ask questions, and it's a way for them to both navigate this world as they work together. You have the space case, who he feels like he's floating in space, and this book is his tether. And then you have this person who's on Earth but just isn't smart enough to learn it, and he's learning to ask questions through his tether, which is his friend. And they end up expanding their world while keeping things about them because these two buddies just kind of fit together. And I love the fact that they address that Kobayashi, when he starts hanging out with Uno, his best friend's like, "Dude, what the fuck you doing? Why you mess with this guy?" And Kobayashi explains, he's like, "Listen, I'm dumb. I just saw he was doing this thing and realized I need to better myself. I need to work forward." And his friend is like, "Well, you could have just told me this, man. You didn't have to be afraid of this. I'm your best friend. I thought I was your best friend. I never gonna laugh at you. I mean, I make fun of you, but it was in jest. I care about you." And he ends up navigating the world better this way. And he ends up working his life better. I know it's hard to describe, but you have to read this to see it. This is only the first chapter. More goes on. I mean, his life expands into things like he learns about space, about life. I love the fact that at one point, Uno doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know who to talk to, and he's confused. He can't process what to do. So Kobayashi grabs his book and writes down, "If you have any questions, ask Kobayashi. He will always be there for you." And it's just an endearing moment. And this is what the story is. It's these two, like, one's looking out for the other one, and the other one's opening the other one's eyes. And part of me is like, maybe this would have worked better as if it was they were siblings or they were brothers or cousins or something. But I like that they're these strangers. And just this opens up the world. And it's not romantic. It's not that. It's just they're friends. And it's just, I don't know, it's endearing and it's nice. And the art style is very, very, I'm using very, very a lot, which is a filler word, but it is detailed. And I like that you have these moments where you have this detailed elements. It looks so great. The manga, each character is defined. Kobayashi, Uno's sister, the new friend that they make in the astronomy club. Slight spoilers. And you have moments which are just like, one thing is that Uno does not like loud noises, which is why you're like, he most likely is on the spectrum, because if people are arguing, he kind of shuts down. And then he's like, "Are you guys done yelling?" He's like, "No, we weren't yelling, right? We weren't yelling." So we're pretty sure that Uno is on the spectrum. And when you see it from his point of view, when someone's screaming and yelling, it's just a cacophony of just sounds and mouths and screaming, and you just see Uno's eyes like just shocked, and his hands are clutched. Like, ugh. And this focuses on that, and it depicts it well. The art is great in this. Now, is this worth all the hype? I think so, from a point of view of this is about two people who are trying to navigate the world, and we have an autistic main character. If he is high functioning autistic, we're not entirely It's never confirmed, so we don't know, but we can guess that. But I love the main characters. I love the story on this. Now, the one thing that I will say is that this is non-action packed series. There is no violence in it except for like little like baby guy punching another guy, but that's it. And it's very much just these two people navigating high school. If you're not in that high school mindset anymore, this is kind of difficult. If you're not into something where it's very narrative heavy, you're not going to like this. But if you're willing to give it a chance, it is exceptional and it is well done. And for that reason, I have to give this a Borrow from a Friend and Don't Return Unless Offered Pocky. It's a great buddy coming of age stories with finding your tether with friends. And the detailed art style lends to the story and depicts scenes where you wouldn't expect and see. Now, the story of friendship works and you do like them all, and it doesn't forget about the other characters, but there is not much action to this story. And the compelling pairship of Uno and Kobayashi, where each one complements the other, makes this a more well-rounded story. And for that reason, it is worth offering and Don't Return Us Offered Pocky. It is a great story. Now, if you've read this, let me know your thoughts. I know this is very jumbled. It's very hard to depict this because it isn't a straightforward narrative. You get into all the mindsets of the characters, and this is one where you are going to want to read more. But let me know your thoughts. Email me, zanspiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know your thoughts on if you like this, if you've read this, if you think this is overrated, or if you think this is kind of meh. Let me know your thoughts. But with that in mind, let's actually get to the manga releases for the week. And we've got some crazy ones this week because we've got Animal Crossing. Yes, Volume 9. We've got An Archdemon Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride, Volume 18. Ascendance of a Bookworm, I'll Do Anything to Become a Librarian, Part 5, Volume 12. This is where she is officially an adult, and things are different. I think that she's going to get all omnipotent now. We've got Breathless Time Traveler, Volume 1. This is by the best-selling author of Toradora, and it looks exceptional. The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows, Volume 2. Call to Action, Defeating Dungeon with a Skill Board, Volume 10. This is the light novel. Campfire Cooking in Another World, My Absurd Skills, the manga, Volume 1. Chain Soldier, Volume 12. Copper Coins, Tongqing Kanchi, Volume 1. There is a special edition and a regular edition. Dance of the Vampire Bund, Age of Scarlet Order, Volume 15. This series is going to be here forever, so whatever. Deadpool Samurai, Volume 3. I thought this series was canceled, but apparently not. Diary of a Female Lead, Volume 4. The Dragon Knight's Beloved, Manga number 9. Dungeon Friends Forever, Volume 5. The Eccentric Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom, Volume 11. Gushing Over Magical Girls, Volume 3. A Kingdom of Quartz, Volume 3. His Sensual Whisper, The Voice That Sets Me on Fire, Volume 2. His Sensual Whisper, The Voice That Sets Me on Fire, Volume 1 of the light novel, both coming out the same day. Isekai Affair, Volume 3. Isekai Tensei, Recruited to Another World Omnibus 1, just got released. It's All Your Fault, Volume 2. Komi Can't Communicate, Volume 35. We're coming to the end. Land, Volume 1. The Legend of Dororo and Hyakimaru, Volume 10. Magical Knight Rayearth 25th Anniversary Edition, Part 2, Book 2 of the series. Released by Clamp. Finally, we're getting that. We're almost done with Rayearth. Yeah. Hopefully, we can get X and get a new version of it. Magic Maker, How to Create Magic in Another World, Volume 1 of the light novel series. The Magic in This Other World is Too Far Behind, Volume 10. Making Magic, The Sweet Life of a Witch Who Knows Infinite MP Loophole, Volume 1. Medalist, this is going to be Volume 10 of the series. Minecraft the Manga, Volume 3. Muchilago, Volume 25. Parallel Paradise, Volume 23. Reanima, Volume 2. Rosen Maiden, Volume 3, Collector's Edition. Seraph at the End, Vampire Reign, Volume 33. Someone's Girlfriend, Volume 4. Splatoon Splatlands 3. And this is going to be volume 5. We've got Sword of the Demon Hunter Kijin Gintetsu the Manga Volume 7. Tank Chair Volume 5. Thunder 3 Volume 6. Triage X 28. Sumiko Ogami's Not So Ordinary Life Volume 2. Windbreaker Volume 14. With a Cat and a Dog, Every Day is Fun Volume 8. And last and certainly not least, we've got Yashahime Princess Half Demon Volume 7. Finally, the return of Inuyasha and Kagome. And these are the manga releases for the week. Which ones are you most excited about, or which are you most disappointed about? Let me know. Email me zanspiraken.com or tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know your thoughts on this. And for me personally, my top 5 of the week are going to be Breathless Time Traveler Volume 1, Campfire Cooking in Another World Volume 1, Isekai Tensei Recruited to Another World Volume 1, Land Volume 1, and Magic Maker Volume 1. All of these are varied and different. And yes, we have 2 Isekai series, but they're both exceptional. Campfire Cooking in Another World is a great cooking light novel series, and Isekai Tensei flips the whole Isekai concept on its head. Now, Breathless Time Traveler, it does something cool with time travel, and Land, the art looks amazing. So those are my thoughts. Let me know. Email me zanspiraken.com or tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know what you're thinking. And before we go any further, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for checking out this podcast and video series. Every email I get, every new subscriber, every comment gives me more motivation to keep doing this. I love doing this. I want to keep going until I'm an old man who reads manga with thick glasses. So thank you for joining me on this journey. We're going to keep going as long as we can. And before I go any further, remember, if you have any quick comments or questions, you can comment below, or you can email me personally at zan@spiraken.com. That's XAN at SPIRAKN.com. Now, if you have any other questions or comments, remember to like, share, subscribe at this YouTube channel, or subscribe to the podcast itself at Spiraken.com. And with that in mind, let's get to the part that you have all been waiting for, the most popular part of this podcast. And what are we talking about? We are talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, a Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. And what I've done is I've assigned a manga title to each of 10 slots. So we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, that's the manga I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 596, 4 away from episode 600. So let's spin and see what we're going to review in the next episode, shall we? Natsumi and Natsumi. This is a manga that is being released on Azuki. Is it a good manga? Is it a bad manga? We're going to have to wait and find out. But this is one about 2 people named Natsumi, and, well, let's find out what it is. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I am Gonzville. I'll catch you guys next time. And keep reading manga. See you later.